Hey, Sarah, I have a surprise for you.
What's that?
I'm selling the bus.
You're doing what?
I'm selling the bus.
Why?
Well, I'm going to tell you about it, so stay tuned, because that starts right now on the Gadget Guru. Let me tell you right up front, I'm in great health, and so is the bus. In fact, I'm going to get into more of that in just a minute. Now, Simon, as you know, we use this bus. We take it on short trips, we take it on long trips. But I'm just going through, again, as you know, I moved around a year ago. I'm settled into my new life. But I got a bunch of things going on in my personal life that are just going to prohibit me from taking the types of trips this thing is designed for. So I thought, instead of sitting around letting it rot in the garage, let's go in and get it to a new owner. So what do you think of that?
I'm going to miss it. We've spent a lot of time on it.
We've had some great times on it. Now, I tell you what I do. You know, people who know me know I do things a little bit differently than most people. So, you know, when you put a bus on consignment or place it for sale, typically a PDI is done when the new buyer finds it. And I encourage whoever buys it, get a PDI done. But what I did, I brought in Gil Johnson. You know, our friend Gil, he's probably the best inspector that I know out there. And he gave this thing a soup to nuts inspection. And I'll tell you what, let's go in and turn to Gil, and here's his report.
Here's a 2014 Marathon X-3. When you're out looking for a new coach, the first thing that you got to be pleased with is the aesthetics, the floor plan. Once you get past that, you really need to understand how these coaches have been maintained. These are major investments, not only initially, but through time they can be costly for those that have not been well maintained. What we have here is what every buyer would hope to come with. Here's a coach that's got, you know, we talk tires and batteries. If you've been around most people, that's the first things that they talk about. Those have been taken care of. But what we're really concerned about is maintenance. All the routine maintenance has been done on this coach as Prevost has expected it to be done. And those very few things that have come up over the course of the ownership of this coach have been addressed immediately and been done so by either Marathon or Prevost. So it's been maintained by the people that are best to do the job, either those that built it or those that converted it. So those that are looking for a 2014 double bunk X3, you probably cannot find a better coach maintenance-wise than this one on the market. And it's not normal that we actually go and inspect these coaches in advance, but it does occur. And so Andy's taken the time to have me take a look at this coach so that prospective buyer has a good feel for, you know, what condition it's going to be in. And depending on where it shows up for sale, that person or company will probably do another look at it as well. So you have two sets of eyes on it. From a maintenance perspective, I don't think that you can go wrong purchasing this coach. Get past the aesthetics and know that you're buying a coach that's been well maintained, as we say in the yachting world. Open, checkbook maintained is what most of those delivery captains and captains of those yachts do, and that's what we see here. So buy with confidence. If you like the looks, take a look at this coach.
Now, if you want to read Gil's full report, I've put it on gadgetguru.com/marathon. I also have all the specs of the coach so that you can see it. Now, Siren, let's go in and talk about the bus. At the same time while we're talking, we'll throw some pictures of the inside. If you had to pick your favorite three things about the bus, what would they be?
Well, I really like how comfortable and how safe it feels, and I like that it's not squeaky when we're going down the road. I also like the layout and the floor, and I like that when we stop at a rest area or something, we don't have to let the slides out to walk through the bus. It's really convenient for us. We can just have lunch right there at the table, and there's still plenty of room. And my favorite thing is probably still the bunk mod.
The bunk mod. Now, let's go in and take a minute on that, and we'll throw some pictures and kind of show you in it of how it was. Now, when I bought this bunk, this had the standard Marathon bunk. What made it different, instead of having the hard doors, it had curtains, because the previous owner made this a custom coach. Now, looking at the curtains, and you've seen the other coaches with the doors, what's your opinion of that?
I prefer the curtains. It's just easier to sort of get in and out. You don't feel like you're trapped in there. You're not in a casket or anything when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah, it's not like you're boxed in. And it kind of gives it kind of a I guess a more open feel.
Yeah.
Okay, now before we had the bunk mod, each bunk was approximately 2 feet high. You took a few trips on it that one. What was your life like sleeping in the bunks at that point?
It was sort of what I was used to, but it wasn't comfortable. You put your laptop on the bed because that's your personal space, but you have to lean over to...
Kind of in a yoga position.
You have to be a little bit flexible to even do that. So yeah, once we did the mod, we could just lower the top bunk and suddenly I had all this space. I could sit up and you go from like a 2-foot opening to almost a 4-foot opening.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed you do, you lower it down even when you're doing ironing. Mm-hmm. And you use the top as kind of, you lay your ironing board on top of that. Is that good for you ergonomically?
For anything, for folding towels, for anything that you're doing. It's a nice just place to do things. So from a passenger's perspective, this is about as good as it gets. So what are your top 3 favorite things about the bus?
When I look back to when I first started shopping for a coach, it's kind of funny that my favorite thing now is the one I was most afraid of before, and that's driving the coach. When you're buying your first motor home and you're looking at something like this, it's 45 feet long and weighs 50 some odd thousand pounds. It's intimidating. Well, I tell you, I get this thing on the road, and it's like a Zen moment to me. I'm very relaxed in there. I don't answer the phones or not texting. It's just driving. You're aware of everything that's going on. And speaking of aware, I think the one thing that makes it so relaxing is having the Prevost Aware system. You've heard me, and you've heard me in my videos that is absolutely my favorite feature on here. It's an adaptive cruise control system. The other thing that I like about my specific bus, well, because it's a marathon, I like the plumbing bay. That's another thing that you're a little spooked of when you're a newbie, is that dumping, whether you're putting water in or taking waste out. Everybody's seen the Robin Williams movie RV, and other parody movies like that. It's scary. This is absolutely the cleanest pumping system I've ever seen. Now, while we always use gloves, you could almost do it without gloves. It's that easy. And my third thing that I like is a mod that I made, and that's I put a TiVo OTA in there. Now, this bus originally had 2 Blu-ray players in it. We removed one. I added a TiVo OTA, and basically it allows me to record local programming so that when we stop in a city, instead of having to contact DirecTV to get all the local channels, it takes about 10 minutes, and I have a super powerful tuner with the DVR, and that just makes it really a comfortable experience for me.
So how are you going to sell it? Are you going to sell it on your own, or are you going to use a dealer?
Well, I tell you, at the time we're shooting this video, well, I've spoken to a few people. No decisions have been made yet. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. I have a theory that when you go to sell something, I don't like it when you have really, really artificial high prices and everybody has to negotiate. So I'm going to put an aggressive price on here and price it to sell. Again, we have the PDI, the condition on this per gill, and my opinion is that this thing's in really, really good shape. I know all the services are up to date. I tell you what we can do. If you go to gadgetguru.com/marathon, I have all the specs on everything on there. If you have a serious inquiry, or if you'd like to see if we can set it up, for you to take a look at it, just go to gadgetguru.com/contact, or on that page, just hit the contact button, fill out the form, make sure I know how to get back to you, and then if it is on consignment with someplace, I'll give you that information. But I guess any parting words? I mean, we're getting ready to say goodbye to this thing.
Gonna miss it.
I am too. I will tell you that anybody who's thinking about buying their first motorhome, and I have another video online that, talks about do you buy a new Class A or pre-owned Prevost? This is just pure evidence of why a pre-owned Prevost is just a great way to go, because, we're here at Prevost when it needed service with Prevost. I'll talk to my Class A owning friends. For them to get an oil change or scheduled annual maintenance, they might have to book months and months in advance. At the various Prevost service centers around the country, you call a day in advance. Sometimes you can pop right in, and you're in and out. They're used to dealing with commercial vehicles, and they know how to take care of us recreational guys.
So here's the big question. Are you done with motorhoming?
Absolutely not. I mean, maybe I've ignored her for a little bit, but you got to remember, I also have my 1957 flexible Starliner. In fact, if all goes as planned, I'll be taking her down to the Prevost Expo in February, and I'll put a link in the notes down here so you can check it out. It'll also be on the story on GadgetGuru.com. I think that I'm going to use the Prevost Expo. I mean, that's the place you go to see pre-owned, and sometimes they have new Prevosts on display, as where I'm going to start the process of looking for my next coach. I know over the next 8 months to a year, I'm going to be busy. So this is going to give me a good opportunity to talk to the various converters to see, if I do decide to build, which one do I feel a really good fit with? And at the same time, I can look at some pre-owned ones there too and get some ideas and to see maybe if there's something there that catches my fancy. So, the short answer is no, I'm not leaving motorhoming. I still have the flexible, it's not easy maintaining 2 coaches, but I'm fortunate with service centers like this that it makes it real easy. So I guess that's just about pretty much what we have to say. Remember, as I said to the video, more information on this, go to GadgetGuru.com/marathon. And remember, if you like this video, you're going to like this one. And if you like that one, you're going to like one of these. That's it for now. I'm the Gadget Guru, Andy Park.